at home here tonight in this part of the Old North State. We get a quick look at the starting lineup. No change for the Blue Devils from their first 3 ball games, and yet interim head coach Morris Scott rolls out his 4th different lineup in 4 ball games. G-Man.
And the guy I think that we're both looking at from Southern standpoint is Jared Sam. You know, and in years past, this might have been a good lineup to play against Duke, but you know, with tonight's cast, he's going to have his hands full with a very tall front line.
No question. And let's get to Mike's forward keys to the game tonight, G-Man.
Well, for a lot of teams that come in here, for Southern, the one thing they talked about first and foremost was transition defense, just trying to limit the easy points, control the pace a little bit, see if they can get the game under control. And for Duke, this is as big a team as I can remember Mike having here, and you know, they just want to exploit their size at all positions.
Marvin Bagley the third, and Jared Sam get us going. Tim Nestor with Sean Hall and Lamont Simpson on the whistles tonight here at Cameron and the Blue Devils, with the freshman Trayvon Duval have it first.
You'll see both teams actually switching up between man-to-man and zone.
And Carter right to work. Wendell Carter Jr. out of Pace Academy in Atlanta, and a little pressure offered by Coach K's club.
Well, and you know, Coach K, he calls those 2 basketball players who happen to be tall, and that was a beautiful high-low feed that time between Carter and Bagley.
Well, the first thing Morris Scott's got to be concerned about too is turnovers, and there's number 1 for the Jaguars.
Well, but at least Wes, it was a dead ball turnover, so you can get back and set up your defense. You know, the live ball ones out front are ones that really hurt.
Allen's first shot of the night, rebounded on the backside by the junior from Detroit, Eddie Reese.
Interesting, really nobody on the offensive glass on that shot for Duke inside. Everybody's just concerned with getting back defensively.
Here is Sam. And Bagley the rebound for the Blue Devils. Big fella's got a handle too, Mike. And overfires Allen, slicing in along the baseline.
No, he can really, I was watching him before the game, he can shoot the 3. Yeah. I mean, he's a scary matchup for anybody.
This is Jamar Sandifer, a sophomore from Dallas. And Jared Sam working on Wendell Carter. Blocked by Carter. 15 to shoot for the Jags. And Reese, who had 10 points the other night in their loss at Missouri State. And now here's Shepard. And Thomas, with the shot clock winding down, missed everything.
You know, Morris Scott probably wouldn't mind long possessions like that during the course of the game to shorten the game, but you got to get a better shot.
Wendell Carter 5, Southern nothing.
How about that? He gets the easy shot inside. I mean, both of these young players showing what they can do in their versatility early in this game.
Bagley reached on a steal. Pull-up jumper off the front of the rim. Off the hand of Shepard, and here are the Blue Devils running, and Duval can't make a leaping catch of the ball. Turnover number 2 on the Blue Devils.
A couple early miscues, maybe trying to do too much with that pass. But Wes, I don't know how much, other than in transition, how much is going to be in the paint area for Southern. Yeah. They may have to go out mid-range, if not even farther, to see points in the half court.
Shepard. That's Thomas. And Sam again, another touch for their all-SWAC candidate. Left-hand move, Jared Sam.
Well, notice, too, that we talked to Morris. He thought that Sam would pull off the ball a little bit out of the basket.
Trent, a front rim miss. Here's Reese leading the Jaguars on the break. Runner. And knocked away, and they'll reset out front. Sandifer. Sandifer for 3, and it's good. Jamar Sandifer's second 3 of the year. He started in Illinois in their season opener, and a quick timeout here after the 3-pointer taken by the Blue Devils of Duke and Mike Krzyzewski.
Yeah, I wouldn't say disinterested is the right word, but just not a lot of energy from Duke so far in this game, even though, you know, they had the 5-0 lead. But that time in transition, you know, they get the offensive rebound, the kick out, and yeah, I think this is just a little bit of a wake-up call before the first TV timeout.
Yep, almost 3 minutes gone. Duke is 2 of 4, but does have the 2 turnovers, and that might be agitating the Hall of Famer as much as anything, right?
Yep.
Morris Scott, meanwhile, his club is just one of their first 8 from the floor here tonight. It's an interesting situation at Southern. Roman Banks was a very successful head coach, and for the last 2.5 years was also the athletic director. And in March, he assumed full-time athletic director's job and tapped his #1 assistant, Morris Scott, as the interim head coach.
Well, Morris Scott is optimistic that the I word is going to disappear at some point in time, but they have got a brutal non-conference schedule as does the rest of the conference.
And there is Bagley's first strong touch, and a foul behind it. And the foul is going to be on Emmanuel Shepard, 6'8" senior from Toronto, Canada, his first.
Well, I tell you what, it was a late double team, and especially if you're going to come baseline, you've got to get there early. But when he faces up, that puts so much pressure on a post defender, just facing up 8 feet from the basket. His ability to handle, you have to make him go to his right hand.
And Marvin Bagley, whose only area of struggle in his early college career has been at the free throw line, shows he's working on that too.
Coming out of that timeout, you see Duke pick up 94 feet after a made basket, so trying to get some intensity through their defense.
5-point lead for the Blue Devils. 3.5 minutes gone in the opening half. And this is Sam with Wendell Carter defending at the post.
And until he starts making shots, I mean, Duval came in kind of a half double team, but they're letting Carter go on one.
And one on the bucket by Bagley. Nice look from Trayvon Duval. And the foul on the Jaguars. And it's on Sandifer.
Well, he's over the course, Wes. He's early on in this year. 30 assists, only 4 turnovers. And you want to give your big guy, especially the pass in stride, so he doesn't have to put the ball on the floor. And that was a nice catch and finish. But great feel for how that break was developing.
So here is Marvin Bagley III, who reclassified, committed to Duke on August the 14th.
And this has been the only weakness in his game. Now 2 of 10 on the year.
1 of 2 here tonight is Bagley. 7-point lead. Shepard against Allen. LaQuentin Collins has come on the floor. That's him handling the basketball. #1. Now Sam with 3 to shoot. Step back over Carter. Hit the rim. Pulled away. And the easy basket from in front to Emmanuel Shepard.
Well, Shepard really benefited because Bagley mistimed his jump on the rebound, and there was nobody in front of him.
5-point lead for the Blue Devils. Gary Trent Jr. Carter on the drive against Sam. Too strong. Bagley's rebound and stick not good.
And that was against 4 Jaguars inside. You're going to have to gang rebound the basketball, but Bagley just too long, played over the top of him.
7 early for Marvin Bagley III. Shepard at 6'8" out on the perimeter. And Allen deflected it, but it was last touched by the senior Collins, and that'll get us to a timeout. Second turnover by Southern. Duke, an early 7-point lead tonight at Cameron.
Toyotathon's on. Look at all those
things. What in the world?
I'm just telling you, Wes. Yeah, I would never do that for you at a football game.
Oh, my man is at Cameron tonight with the crazies. Why do I have a feeling that you'll see more of that tomorrow? Allen lost the handle on it. Duke turns it over. 3rd turnover by the Blue Devils here in the first 5 minutes and change.
Shooting it well, the 5 of 8 to start the game so far, but and Bagley and Trent have all the scoring for Duke.
Blue Devils by 7. Here is Reese, transfer out of Northwest Tech Community College in Kansas. Junior from Detroit, averaging almost 12 for Coach Scott. Sandifer and Emmanuel Shepard. Kick out. And the 3 off the iron from Sandifer. And here is Duval. Look at this, and tripped up and fouled. Trayvon Duval. Mike, we get caught up in adjectives sometimes, talking about explosive guards, dynamic guards. This guy's explosive and dynamic.
Well, and add along to that, a true point guard. Probably the first one that Duke has had since Tyus Jones. And the last time they had a true point guard, 2015, they won the national championship.
Here's Carter squaring up on Sam and draws number 2 on Jared Sam. So Sam, the best player on the Jaguar roster for Morris Scott, 2 quick fouls at the 14-16 mark.
You know, Duval, not a three-point threat, has not hit one yet this year, but that's not, his game. But 10 assists a game, and you see the assist-to-turnover ratio, which was usually, that's a senior would be maybe to that level.
Right.
That's off the charts. But the thing about him too, Wes, and what Coach K loves about him, defensively, 6'8" wingspan.
Yeah.
It's 6'3", so he's going to be able to put a lot of pressure on the ball.
Shaquille Benson, 6'10" junior from New Orleans, on the floor for the first time. As Morris Scott gets into his depth a little bit. Wendell Carter missed the first. And rattles in the second. Carter has got 6. 7 for Bagley, and that's Duke's 13. A little pressure, a little zone look here by the Blue Devils.
Yeah, and I think more to just run some time off the clock. So they've already gotten into their offense with 18 seconds to go.
Here is Benson. Rolled off the front rim. Bagley the rebound and a foul on Shaquille Benson. Transfer out of East Central Community College in Mississippi. His first and number 5 of this first half on the Jaguars.
Morris Scott has told us that they a lot of new faces. He's really just trying to find his way, trying to find lineups and combinations that work at this point.
Chavin Delarier's come on the floor, wearing number 12 for the Blue Devils. Here is Bagley going to work. That got blocked out of there. Emmanuel Shepard challenged the young freshman from the desert. It'll stay with the Blue Devils.
Well, and then even with the start 3 games that he had up to this point, Wes, Grayson Allen really hasn't looked for a lot of his offense. So only 1 shot attempt. There you do. That was a terrific play.
Foul off the ball is going to be on Chris Thomas. It'll be his first, and I've got 6 now on Southern here in the first 6 minutes and 15 seconds. So slowly but surely the Jaguars are moving Duke toward the line.
Well, and I think that's what this team is going to do over the course of the year, as big as they are and as much as they attack the basket. Another turnover that time, one of the rare ones for Duval, the 4th as a team. But they can rack up fouls in a hurry, the size that they have along the front line.
Duke's got 5 made field goals, 4 turnovers. Foul line jumper rattles in for Sandifer. He's got all 5 of the 7 points. Shepard the other basket.
Boy, maybe this was the game he was looking for. I mean, we thought 2-16 coming in, but you come into this building, get off to a hot start, it does a lot for your confidence.
I said Sandifer, it was 0 Richard Lee, not number 10 Jamar Sandifer. There's Allen for the nice lob, and Bagley finishes.
Well, we said he's been moved off the ball, but I think his experience playing with it allows him to make plays like that. And you got 2 guys that all you have to do is lob it up to the rim, and they'll go get it.
Inside Benson, the right hand. First field goal of the year for 6'10" Shaquille Benson.
Well, when you're a shot blocker like Bagley, if you try to draw a foul like that, a lot of times the referees won't give it to you, and the result is an easy lay-in.
Allen off the screen, challenged by Thomas. Here's Wendell Carter, poked away by Benson. Good hustle by the Jaguars, and a timeout called as Benson challenged the catch by Wendell Carter, forced the turnover, and Morris Scott's glove gets a nice little piece of momentum. 6-point lead for Duke with 12:27. And Grayson Allen, veteran to promising rookie Marvin Bagley III. Back after this. 6-point lead for Duke. We welcome you back to Cameron Indoor Stadium. Now, earlier, we saw my man Batesy, and Mike, apparently there's more to this. Run in with the students. I mean, I got to get this guy to the football game tomorrow. He's in the band. What in the world?
Yeah.
And then the mask.
Lucky didn't get escorted out of the building by security.
This is your first trip in the building?
First trip ever. I've tried to get him before we come in town for football games, but it's always been locked up.
And I told him it was better in the old days when the G-Man rolled the floor.
Right? Well, I used to go to the side door, and if I had friends down from Connecticut, I'd open them up and wave them through, and they'd go sit in the student section.
All right, hang on, Batesy.
All right.
I thought you were prepping for the game.
I am. That's what I'm doing. I always wear my luchador mask when I get ready.
Torrey Mayo, Shaquille Benson. Out front, here's LaQuentin Collins. Out of the timeout. Baseline hanging jumper. Richard Lee's got 2 quick field goals off Morris Scott's bench, and it's down to a 4-point game. Bagley. And a reach-in foul. That'll be 7 on Southern with 11:57 to play.
Well, the lack of size. I mean, right now, Emmanuel Shepard's the tallest guy they have out on the floor at 6'8". And you can see how packed in that defense is for Southern. They're going to try to make Duke beat them over the top if possible.
So Shaquille Benson draws his second. Jared Sam and now Shaquille Benson with 2 here in this first half.
Well, it's going to be a war of attrition for the front line for Southern. So
G-Man, were you as smooth as Bagley on the floor?
You know what? There are a lot of similarities in our game, but other than the fact that he's faster than me, quicker than me, could jump higher than me, is a better athlete than me, then you know, other than that, there are a lot of similarities to our game.
It's kind of like, that's like a Larry the Cable Guy joke that he used to say. My girlfriend looks a lot like Christy Brinkley, but she's a lot shorter and has different facial features.
Bagley got 1 of 2. I knew Batesy would uncork one on you, Mike. I'm sorry. I try to keep the football and basketball people apart from one another.
Well, Wes, the reason I ask, I've been sitting down there on the floor.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, you can appreciate a little bit on TV, but when you sit there and you look them, when you're there live, oh, my goodness.
Yeah, unbelievable, isn't it?
Very smooth.
And, Wes, you know, the thing that helps, too, with the depth they have at front, it makes their practices a lot better because those guys get to go against one another.
And Bagley gets another foul. This one on Patrick Smith. His first, and that's 8. And 2 shots coming again for the freshman. So you see Benson, he's got 2. Patrick Smith's got 1. Jared Sam already on the bench with 2.
Despite all of that, I mean, a 5-point game.
Yeah.
You know, so Southern hanging in there. Where are you showing up next? The women's soccer?
You know,
There's a lot going on
Clemson
right now.
and Duke are playing tonight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bagley really fighting it at the line. He is 2 out of 5 now. It's amazing the footprint. We've been around this league, Mike. You have as well. But to see, like, the events going on in this little small area tonight, the soccer game, basketball here, and then there'll be football tomorrow next door. It's amazing what Kevin White's done here.
Yeah, we saw him before the game, and the transformation. You know, if you were to have me visualize this back in 1980, I would have said you're out of your mind. But and they've done it seamlessly with the architecture and how everything looks, and with the job that they've done over at Wallace Wade.
Wallace Wade looks like an artist's rendering. You know how the rendering always looks just perfect, immaculate? That's the way it looks. It's just beautiful.
Benson on the drive draws Bagley's first. That'll be number 1 of the ball game on the Blue Devils, coming with 11:09 to play. Mike, that's the other thing, James, in our football prep on Friday on these campuses, visiting with coaches and players and so forth, we get a chance to see some of the athletic physical plants. We haven't been to a place that doesn't have a shovel in the ground, have we? All year long. It's amazing.
It's like an arms race, really. You know, with all the the practice facilities and other amenities that have to be built.
You see Wendell Carter's back in the ball game. This is the other thing, Mike, about the bigs at Duke that I think will pay off, especially once league play begins, and that's the interchangeability, if you will, of Carter, Bagley, to a degree, Delorier, and even Brankovic off the bench.
Well, but you look at the team that's out there now for Duke West, it's a small team relative to what they have. I mean, Wendell Carter is now the only big out there, and he's got guards around him.
Alex O'Connell handles the ball. Javin Delorier. Also getting our first look tonight at Jordan goal line. Here is O'Connell. Tried to get it to Carter. Bounce past him. Out of bounds, and another turnover in the half court for Duke, and that is 6 in the first half. Now, James, don't ask G-Man about O'Connell because Mike was kind of a contemporary of his dad, just a little older as his dad, right?
Yeah, a little after, but still very good friends with Dave. And
that means that we're all old. Knocked out of bounds, last touch by Southern, says Lamont Simpson, who will award it to the Blue Devils.
By the way, Jay, that mention about the women's, there was a hint to get out of the booth. I'm only kidding.
That's all right. I'll go back down there with the students. Which, by the way, I made the mistake of asking, hey, it's Southern. I know Michigan State just, came up in North Carolina. It's not North Carolina. Are they still going to get painted up and get revved up for the game? And, oh, man, my question was answered immediately.
Yeah, some kind of environment. Here is Carter. Nice play, the foul, and the basket for Wendell Carter Jr.
Now, see, if you're Shaquille Benson, they're not coming with the double team. They're staying at home on the perimeter. You got beaten in that position. You have to let this go. Keep your hands up, and that little reach right there gets you the foul.
Makes it a 5-point game, and Mubashir Ali, a redshirt freshman from Finland, but went to high school at Orangewood Academy in Southern California, has come into the ball game. So Morris Scott is having to go all the way to the end of the roster in terms of bigs here to keep things going as Carter completes the three-point trip. He now has 8 in this first half. So you're impressed with Cameron Batesy. It's everything you thought it would be, huh?
It is. Even the smells.
Oh, yeah.
The little things, the little chandeliers there in the stairways, the carpeted stairs, everything, Wes.
Yeah. I'm always interested in people's first impression when they come in here, Mike, because we're spoiled. We've been here for years.
I'll be the first one to admit that I'm, completely spoiled, having played in here and then, play, of course, in the Duke North Carolina rivalry and the whole thing.
O'Connell fouled on the way to the basket. Delorier's finish will not count.
It was interesting, too, and we didn't even ask about him, but Mike Krzyzewski was very quick to point out that Alex O'Connell has been playing very well in practice. It's just, there's some people in front of him, but there's the look inside. You put the ball on the dribble against this team, and you're inviting that to happen.
Young man who played at Milton High School in the North Fulton area.
Do you guys enjoy calling games from up here rather than?
Well, this is brand new for us up here now. This is not the old Crow's Nest.
Where was the old Crow's
Nest? Right here, but it was hanging from the grid.
You used to have to climb a rope to get up there.
No, you didn't. It was a ladder. First one by O'Connell makes it a 7-point game. I've always enjoyed being upstairs here, James. I think it's a great vantage point. I really do.
Yeah, you can see the plays develop, and it's a little tougher as far as sideline, and also communicating with the referees is an issue if there is a special issue on the floor.
Carter the rebound, sandwiched around, and that'll either be on Eddie Reese or Ali, and it's on Reese. It'll be his first.
Well, right now, the good news for Duke is that they're in the double bonus for the last 9:43. The bad news is, up to this point, they're 5 of 11 from the free throw line. Yeah. So we're leaving some points on the floor and allowing Southern to stay in the game.
And here is Wendell Carter Jr., who had Duke, Harvard, Georgia Tech, and Georgia in his Final Four out of Pace Academy in Atlanta. Highly thought-after player, natural power forward, but a little bit like Duval, he's got a 7'3" wingspan.
Yeah, we've seen it in this lineup before Bagley came back in, that he was the center for that group when they do go a little bit smaller.
Blue Devils are 6 of 13 at the line now, 10 for Carter here in the first half. 8-point lead for the Blue Devils with 9.5 to go.
And I wonder if Grayson Allen is going to look to be a little bit more aggressive in the last part of this half anyway. Only 2 field goal attempts for him. He hasn't scored.
That's Lee out front. A 2-pointer for Richard Lee. He's got 6 to lead Southern.
Well, Bagley's capable of guarding out there, but they've been trying to get Duke's bigs out on the perimeter to defend, to get them away from the basket. And in order to make that effective, you've got to make shots.
This is Gary Trent Jr. Nice pass, Carter to O'Connell. Alex O'Connell's 5th field goal of the year.
And he's shown that he is not bashful, coming in and playing very confidently.
Sandifer reroutes on the drive, the scoop, and the score. Jamar Sandifer's 2nd field goal.
See, I mean, it was, again, they're taking it at Bagley. They had him lifted out on the perimeter. There was nobody below the free throw line, so they couldn't get any help.
Offensive foul on Carter. Tim Nestor with the whistle. First on Carter. 7th turnover on Duke, and there's the take by Sandifer.
Yeah, that's what you want to do against a bigger player or a shot blocker. You want to go at his body, negate his ability to lift and get a block.
I feel obliged to ask Bates what kind of football game he thinks we're going to get tomorrow. Don't you, G, as a alumni dues paying member? Right?
Yeah, let's.
Who do you want to hear?
Yeah.
Well, I'm expecting a pretty good one. A couple teams just trying to get that 6th win. Duke needs 2 more. And Georgia Tech, after a big win over Virginia Tech last weekend, they need 1 more to go bowling. And I expect those seniors, 21 seniors, they say goodbye to tomorrow.
Yep.
Right across the way.
Well, you know, it's so interesting to me that, you know, David Cutcliffe has done an amazing job resurrecting this program. And here we see the charge right there. Nice defensive play. And Duval probably took 1 dribble too many on that. But, you know, now it's almost like this, you know, fans are grumbling a little bit that they haven't gone to a bowl in a couple of years. You know, they can't remember the misery of 6 or 7 years ago.
He's done a marvelous job here.
And I'm a big fan. Actually, my younger brother played for Coach Cutt at Tennessee a few years back.
On the drive, scooped and in. My goodness, strong take Patrick Smith for his first field goal. 4-point game.
Well, all of a sudden now, Southern starting to gain confidence in its ability to play in this hall.
Rebound pulled away. Jaguars on the run. Here's Sandifer. Trying to get all the way to the rim. Scoops it up, scores, and draws the foul. That'll get us to a timeout. Sandifer on the take. James, by the way, G-Man, feel free to go sit with the students tomorrow if you want to during the football game.
You can borrow my mask. How's that?
Thanks. Led by as many as 8 in this first half. And now the Jaguars of Southern have hit 4 of their last 5 from the floor. After starting 1 of 10, they're 8 of their last 15. And they've been able to offset Duke's advantage of size and strength inside. And Jamar Sandifer completes the 3-point play for his first free throw of the year out of the break. Now look at this.
It's been Lee and Sandifer, and they have been carrying the team so far. 14 points combined for them.
Blue Devils have only gotten 1 field goal from Alex O'Connell and a free throw. Outside of that, it's been the Marvin Bagley and Wendell Carter show. Trent. Here is Carter, and raked across the forearm by Torrey Mayo. Listed at 5'8", junior from Deltona, and a transfer out of McCook Community College. Draws his first.
Well, if you're going to come in on a double team like that, you can't reach. You just got to clamp, keep your hands up. You got a little greedy trying to go for the steal.
And here is Wendell Carter Jr., 6'10", almost 260 pounds from Atlanta. He's got 11. He's 4 of 6 at the free throw line with 1 to go. As you see Torrey Mayo come out of the lineup for Coach Scott. And the Duke lead back to 3.
Oh, this is something we thought would be really dominant in favor of Duke. It's dead even on the glass.
Yeah.
13 apiece.
Little backcourt pressure again offered by the Blue Devils. Patrick Smith off the bench tonight. And the 3 rattles in for Richard Lee. 9 off Morris Scott's bench, and the ball game's tied.
Well, this is, you know, most of his shots are going to come from behind the arc, so you got to jam him outside.
Bagley's tap follow wouldn't go.
Wes, you could tell by the body language. I mean, that Southern's gotten much more out in the open floor. They're pushing the ball. Nice ball movement, getting some good looks on the perimeter.
This is Smith with Bagley defending. Brandon Ganaway. Lee, who's done a lot of scoring, Shoved it up under the backboard. Here are the Blue Devils with Duval.
They've got Patrick Smith at 6'7", trying to guard Bagley inside. He can't get a look.
Easy three. Allen too strong, and a foul called on Smith. Good look there, G-Man, because Patrick Smith is conceding basically about 35 pounds and 4 inches.
And that was a terrific pull-up by Richard Lee. Nobody really committed to go and get a hand-up. They just kind of played that little handoff evenly. Grayson Allen maybe should have gotten a hand-up on the play.
And here's Marvin Bagley at the line, where he's just 2 of his first 6 tonight. Came in 2 of 9 on the year.
Yeah, I think that's just a lack of repetitions at the free throw line under game conditions.
Right.
Because you look at his shooting stroke, Wes, it's too good for that percentage.
Blue Devils back in front on the Bagley free throw. Played 10 minutes on Tuesday night before the eye injury occurred. Had 4 points and 6 rebounds in 10 minutes to tell you what kind of night he might have had.
See, for right now, I think Southern's got to continue to play with that same confidence, because how many times in this building have we seen a team play like this, and then Duke all of a sudden closes out the half with a big run to make it a double-figure lead?
How many times you hear opposing coaches talk about playing those 4-minute sequences, right?
Yep.
Morris Scott's team probably got overwhelmed in the first 4, but they've calmed down in those, next 8 minutes? And now it's a 2-point game. Step back by Smith. Tie game. Patrick Smith's second field goal.
Doing a lot of isolation plays. He had the whole right side of the floor to himself that time.
Duke's gone almost 7 minutes without a field goal, or almost 5 minutes without a field goal, and Gary Trent Jr. becomes just the 4th Blue Devil to score tonight.
We talked about how this team is constructed so differently. Everybody's used to Duke having a lot of three-point shooters. And Trent and Grayson Allen are the only real true three-point threats they have on this team.
And Allen is scoreless with almost 15 minutes gone here in the first half. Here is Smith with Duval defending. Ganaway with 5 to shoot. Off-balance scoop. Benson inside and draws the foul.
See, now that's something that's going to be upsetting to Mike Krzyzewski. There were 4 white jerseys around Shaquille Benson. He was the only one in there. Watch the play in there, and he's got the inside position against all of them, and he just beats everybody off the floor. He comes flying in from the outside. Nice hustle play. Duke only 5 fouls, so they're still a couple away from putting Southern into the penalty.
In the corner. Blocked out of there by Bagley on the shot by Sandifer. Allen behind the back and scores.
And see, that's for most of the half, Bagley has been out on the perimeter and timeout Southern. That time he was able to come in as a second defender and start the break.
And the rejection bounced right to the most veteran of the Blue Devils.
Yeah, and that's the perfect thing to keep that block in play. And that one is actually, it was the first pass to the fast break. And we talked about Grayson Allen, his ability to handle. That was a sweet finish. He knew he could take that shot because he had Bagley following him up.
5-point lead for the Blue Devils. And Morris Scott burns a quick 30 here.
But how about the hustle for Bagley to get the block and then sprint after the play to make sure that it's finished?
Well, Patrick Smith and Richard Lee have given Southern quite a lift off the bench. Torrey Mayo's back out on the floor with Jamar Sandifer and Shaquille Benson for the Jaguars. Southern's got 17 bench points. Duke's only 3 belong to Alex O'Connell. Sandifer out front. Grazed the iron. Carter the rebound. He's got 8 rebounds in the first half. Carter, foul line jumper good.
It can be interesting that I think Morris Scott is trying to get to under 4 minutes if he can right now. If Duke score, if they get a stop and score again, he may be forced into calling a timeout.
7-point game. Lee can't get around Allen. In fact, lost it. Last touch by Grayson Allen, says Lamont Simpson. That'll get us to a timeout. Under 4, 7-0 run for the Blue Devils. And the lead is 7 at Cameron.
Listen, we've all got to make choices. If you're hungry and you got $5, you could eat this stuff.
And 8 of 14 shooting, 9 of 15 from the free throw line. Only 5 players for Duke have even scored, and Trent Jr. and Allen have combined for 5 points.
Jags couldn't find the iron there. Here's Bagley into the front court. Duke's just 2 of 6 tonight from 3. They averaged 10 a ball game through their first 3 wins. Duval launches and hits.
That's his first made 3 of the year.
Yep.
And if he could evolve into a suitable three-point shooter, that would help the cause.
We saw him make several standing threes tonight in his pregame warm-up. 10-0 run for the Blue Devils after Southern tied it at 27. Clearly capable, just got to maybe develop a little rookie confidence in it, Mike.
Well, I think he's been so focused, Wes, early on running the team. Yep. They really haven't been looking for a shot.
Layup by Sandifer, altered. Trent, Allen. Oh, faked it. And offensive foul on Grayson Allen, says Lamont Simpson. Number 1 on Allen, 6 now on the Blue Devils with 2:46 to play. And here's another look at Trayvon Duval, G-Man.
Yeah, it was that same corner, and you get to set your feet, a catch-and-shoot guy. Defense a little late getting out to you. And then, as a matter of fact, that was the corner that he was shooting from the most pre-game on that right side.
You saw Trayvon pause there and visit with associate head coach Jeff Capel, who's back on the bench tonight. Lost his father this week to Jeff Capel. Nice to see him back with the Blue Devils. Services for Jeff Capel Jr. or Sunday in Fayetteville, and Jamar Sandifer picked up the foul there.
And where Allen took 1 dribble too many on the other end, he picks up the charge, to compensate for that. But clearly, Southern, if they can, they want to try to drive Grayson Allen off that three-point line and make him a mid-range floater-type shooter.
Jordan Goldwire's come back in the ball game to work with Allen and Trent, Bagley and Carter. Slapped out of there by Mayo. It'll stay with the Blue Devils. See 17 on the shot clock, 2:20 to go first half.
Nice help coming baseline that time against Bagley.
Allen. Here's Trent. Goldwire left open. Too strong, and the long rebound into the Jaguar bench. And Southern's gone about 3.5 minutes without a field goal. 0 for 6 for Morris Scott's club.
And those, the game is the half's kind of teetering right now. 2 minutes left. This is a big possession for Southern. Get it back under double figures.
You mentioned that this could be one of those sub-4 runs that Duke kind of specializes in, particularly in this building. Layup, nice high arcing layup by Torrey Mayo, his first field goal of the year against Marvin Bagley.
Again, and Bagley had to come a long way to try to get that block. A nice job offensively, Southern, lifting everybody out of the paint area.
Allen, Trent, a 3, got it. Pair of triples for Gary Trent Jr.
Wow, those are triples too, and we saw it from Duval, where it's a catch and shoot. He was lined up. He had everything in place.
On the drive, Thomas, and a block called on Bagley. That'll be his 3rd. 7 on Duke with 1:15 to play.
He's one of those guys, Thomas, very physical guard, likes to get inside. All that time.
And Chris Thomas, redshirt senior from Baton Rouge, just 2 of 6 at the free throw line. Southern as a squad comes in just 58% in their first 3 games. that one no good.
Yeah, look at depth. I mean, that was Bagley's third personal foul. To get him out of the game.
Comes Javin Delorier. And he'll replace Bagley. Largest lead of the night for Duke is 11 here with 75 seconds to go first half. First points for Thomas. Duke's hit 5 of the last 6 from the floor. And goal wire with Trent, Allen, Delorier, and Carter. And a foul on Thomas there against Allen. And Grayson took one across the eyes and the bridge of the nose maybe. Second on Thomas.
Bad couple of games with Duke players with eye injuries, and I think it was just a kind of an inadvertent play. I don't think there was any kind of flagrant call involved in that.
Caught him right up there, looked like across the front of the nose and maybe in the forehead.
Yeah, Thomas was up in him and trying to knock the ball away.
Grayson's going to come over here, and the Duke basketball trainer is Jose Fonseca, who will offer him a towel. And Tim Nestor checking with Allen, says take your time.
I don't think people really had the sense last year of how many different things Allen's injury-wise had to overcome over the course of the whole season.
So Allen will get a couple of free throws here. He's perfect on the year, 8 for 8 at the line. Duke. And the free throw good. Don't forget, we'd like to remind you, ask your participating Tire Pros of the Carolinas dealer how you can save $25 on your next tire purchase. Rattled out on free throw number 2. Last touch by Sam in a battle with Carter. And O'Connell will get Grayson Allen's spot here with 67 seconds to go. Carter out front on the inbound. Trent in traffic. Rebound. Back out front. Goal wire under a minute to go. O'Connell. Nice pass. Delorier fouled on the reach in by Smith.
Yeah, O'Connell, a lot of poise. West, during the course of that possession, 2 offensive rebounds for Duke, and you give them 3 chances at it in the half court.
Yeah.
And normally you don't want to leave your feet as a passer, but Valier was wide open.
Javin Delorier only appeared in 12 games a season ago for Coach K. Free throw no good. Interesting, average 7 minutes, less than 2 rebounds, about 1.5 points a game. But when you think about it, it was banged around a little bit, a little injured.
No, Delorier, there's no question about it. It was that there were people playing in front of him, and it was
normal progression, maybe, right?
Yep. It was just, and he, he did some good things when he got out there on the floor. But I think for Javin Delorier that he's, even with the good bigs that we've been talking about all first half, there are going to be minutes for him as the season goes along.
Well, there are minutes here now. Final minute of this first half. Duke with a 12-point lead, which is their largest off Delorier's first point. This is Mayo. Southern University, despite the tough road start to their season, gets Torrey Mayo's driving basket, his second field goal. And the Blue Devils can take the final shot of the half if they elect. And I think that's what the Hall of Fame head coach with 1,001 wins would like to see here.
I imagine this might be the spirited halftime discussion between Mike Krzyzewski and his team.
Trent from the corner. Rattled out. Delorier put it back up. It got banged out of bounds. Last touch by Ali of the Jaguars.
Still with 0.5 seconds, enough time for a catch and shoot.
Right.
I would think, regardless of the outcome of this, and you get somebody, they better watch Alex O'Connell at the top of the key. Everybody's worried about a quick hitter inside, and they may throw him a lob.
goal wire will put the ball in play.
Right now, nobody's even looking at him.
Catch, shoot, too strong. Blue Devils 42, Jaguars 32. Halftime, Cameron Indoor Stadium. Mike Krzyzewski's team led by as many as 12. But at one point in this first half, it was tied at 27. 15-5 run gets Duke the 10-point working margin. Hardy's ACC halftime report coming up next. So Coach K will send his original starters back out there. Allen, Trent, Bagley, Duval, and Wendell Carter. We mentioned this at the final stretches of the first 20 minutes, but our thoughts and prayers are with the family of Associate Head Coach Jeff Capel. And before the game here at Cameron Indoor Stadium, a moment of silence was offered to remember and pay respects to his dad, Jeff Capel Jr., who passed away after a valiant 19-month battle with ALS earlier this week. And of course, Jason is a colleague of ours, Mike, and these are good friends, and these are people that we have great respect for. If there is basketball royalty in the state of North Carolina, it is the Capel family.
I mean, it's not always easy to grow up to be the son of a coach, and but Jason and Jeff are, such quality people, and Jeff Jr. was, what a great man, and from the Fayetteville area. Now the whole team, the service is going to be on Sunday. The whole team is going to practice and then go down there for the service and come back as they play on Monday.
And you've seen our blue and white ribbons tonight. We join everybody in the Duke University and ACC community in remembering Jeff Capel Jr. And we'll be thinking of the Capel family, certainly in the days ahead. Inside, pressured at the rim was Sam. Ball got fought for, and out of there with it is Trent. Allen in the corner. In the lane, Carter. Grayson will sneak baseline. A little runner. Starts the second half. 5 for Grayson Allen.
Yeah, and I expect him to be a lot more aggressive in the second half, looking for his own shot. But I think for Morris Scott, that's a shot you'll take from Grayson Allen, that little floater, as opposed to a three-point basket or a run out. Not a lot of which they've had in this game.
Sam got it blocked by Carter, recovered and scored. And that's the first basket of the night for the Jaguars' leading scorer, 6'10" Jared Sam.
Well, it's amazing how Mike Krzyzewski and his staff can plan to take out the main guy for the other team and make other people step up.
Yep. Sam the rebound. He had a double-double, by the way, in their ball game at Illinois, 21 points, 11 rebounds. Jaguars did not fare well against Coach Fleetwood's Illini team, but here's Sam back at it, blocked by Carter, and a pushing foul on Wendell Carter Jr., his second, number 1 of the half on Duke.
We thought we might see Sam drift out a little bit, and they gave him an isolation on that play, and Carter bit on the first pump fake, but he was able to recover but still pick up the foul.
Inbounds. Forced up, blocked for Sandifer, and another one got sent back. 5 blocks. Duval at the other end, the scoop and score. Second field goal for the rookie, Trayvon Duval.
If you're Sandifer in that situation, you've got the offensive rebound. You've got to dribble out of the forest and reset your offense. Chances of him finishing that play were near 0.
Into the corner, Sam. Baseline. Can't finish it. Shepard kind of resets. Out on the perimeter, a 3-ball from Thomas. 12-point lead. Allen stops, pops. Carter put it on the deck and lost it. And a foul on Allen. As the ball went through the middle of the floor under control of Jamar Sandifer. It'll be the second on Grayson, number 2 on the Blue Devils.
To look inside and see this, Bagley with those long arms was able to go up, and good sense of where the ball was going to miss on the weak side of the paint. It's his 9th rebound of the game. Sorry, 7th rebound of the game. He and Carter combined for 16. Reese
to Sam. Sandifer. Thomas. Or Shepard, I beg your pardon. Sam off the baseline. Nowhere near. Duval out in front. He'll feed Allen. And one.
We talked about the big key for Southern before the game, defensive transition. They didn't have good balance this time with anybody back, and that was a nice heady play by Duval. Nobody had help coming up from behind.
Grayson Allen now with 7, and he is just past Carlos Boozer into the top 30 in the career scoring charts at Duke. Drury, North Carolina's David Henderson is next. I get points for Drury.
You get double bonus. And this is, again, one of those times it seems like this game is teetering a little bit in Duke's favor.
Sam in traffic. Nicely done. Jared Sam's second field goal. He hadn't had many moments, Mike, but we got to see a little of his skill set right there.
Well, that was against a big double, too, with Bolden coming in late. But terrific finish by him in the lane.
Marquise Bolden, sophomore from DeSoto, Texas, in the ballgame for the first time. Pulled out of there, and here comes Reese. Sandifer catch and shoot, and knocks down the triple. 11 for Jamar Sandifer.
And Morris Scott was asking, he said, we need people to step up, and this may be Jamar Sandifer's coming out party for the season. He's had a terrific game.
Trent. Shepard pulls it away for the Jaguars. 4 minutes gone here in the second half, and the halftime margin is still 10. Early in this second 20 minutes.
That was a big three to kind of reel the game back in a little bit.
Sam turned against Bolden. Look at Bagley handling. And Allen got taken down.
That's a flagrant.
Yep.
Flagrant one.
Torrey Mayo.
And, credit Allen, too, for not, he didn't even react to that play. He went right over to the free throw line.
We're going to break. Free throws coming. As you see Allen draw the foul.
Husqvarna Auto Mower. All-Star Lawns start with Auto Mower. Seeing is believing at automower.us.
Back with Mike Jaminski. Eddie Cameron, of whom this building is now named for. Started out as Duke Indoor Stadium, and then not long after it's opened, it became Cameron Indoor Stadium. And here's another look at the Mayo foul against Allen.
And never really made a play on the ball that time, and maybe a little extra by Allen falling down, but clearly, you don't make a play on the ball. It's a flagrant foul. I think the important thing was, as I said before the break, a lack of reaction by Allen in any sort of way.
Yep. Grayson got them both. Blue Devils will have the ball. Torrey Mayo has gone to the bench for Coach Scott, and Brendan Ganaway, redshirt sophomore from Houston, has come in, wearing number 5 for the Jaguars.
Bench has been a huge source of points. They're outscoring Duke 21-4 in that category.
Richard Lee's 9 gave him a nice lift in the first half. Bolden inside with the flush. First points for Marquise Bolden, his second field goal of the year.
Mike Krzyzewski talks about Carter and Bagley being tall basketball players. Well, Bolden is a center. I mean, he and Frankovich are true centers, and they'd like to get some good minutes out of him. He had strep throat earlier in the year, which kept him off the practice floor for a while.
Ganaway, Shepard. Ganaway played some big minutes the other night, 14 of them in the loss at Missouri State, had double figures. For Morris Scott. Shot clock to 10. Sam. And stepped out of bounds, and that'll turn it over.
So I think if you're Jared Sam in that situation, you probably have to take that shot. That Bolden was giving him a lot of room. He probably wasn't going to be able to get around him.
6 turnovers, by the way, now on the Jaguars as you see Jared Sam come out of the lineup.
Which, at this point in the game, Wes, in this building, isn't bad.
No. Now that's why it's 14, right?
Yeah, and you know, a lot of it, again, I mean, they don't have a ton of assists. It's been a lot of one-on-one basketball, but at least they've given themselves shots.
Well, they average almost 17 a game, Mike. Bolden going to work on Benson, and Sandiford came over. We'll see who Lamont Simpson tickets. It's on Shaquille Benson, and that's his third. And that's number 3, by the way, against the Jaguars here in this second half. And another look at Marquise Bolden here. Of course, who injured last year, the foot injury. You mentioned the strep throat he's had in preseason camp. And the sophomore ready at the stripe. The first one is good. Don't forget another edition of ACC All Access coming up on your regional sports network. Coach Krzyzewski will talk about this 2017 Duke squad. I'll visit with him at length about basketball and all the things that have inspired him through his now 8 seasons in Durham. You can see it on ACC All Access. Check your local listings on your regional sports network.
And Wes, you know, talking about Bolden, you know, first game of last year, he throws up a double-double, 13 points, 11 rebounds, and, you know, Duke's saying, boy, we really got something here. But then that foot injury you alluded to just kind of derailed this whole season. Great pass.
Backdoor Benson on a great feed from Shepard.
I tell you, for the most part, Southern spacing has been really good, and it's given Duke some problems.
Duval, backdoor, Delorier can't finish.
And they call a foul on that play?
They did indeed on Shaquille Benson. So that is 4 on Benson, 2 in a row. And another look at the dump down here.
Yeah, here's the look. I mean, he just got completely lost along the back line. And here's a look. They're just Duke running that double high post. And it's close call right there. If anything, he got him a little bit with the body. But now this forces Southern to go even deeper into their bench.
Mubashir Ali, Californian in high school, who's originally from Finland. Only 1 of 2 for Delorier for his 2 points tonight. So Ali has come on the floor. Sam already over on the bench with 3. Benson with 4. Here is Lee, who we spoke of a moment ago. Mubashir Ali's baseline jumper.
Talk too, Wes, that, you know, Duke in the first few games has played about 30% zone defense. We've only seen strictly man-to-man in this game.
Bolden had it, then he got batted up in the air. I think they'll award it to Bolden.
When I
would give it to Trent.
Well, when I was in that position, I'd look at the scorer's table and raise my hand, you know, if there was any kind of doubt.
Hey, remember me, 43? I was the guy around the rim. Don't be handing it to forwards. Let's have another look. Remember now, a few years ago, this has been straight G-man money. Mullins. Javensky.
You know the amazing thing about it, Wes, is that Art Heyman is the only one who has passed away.
Yeah.
And our good friend Dick Grote, who was the first guy honored in that way, is still doing pit basketball color radio.
Yep, with our friend Bill Hillgrove, you betcha. Yep. Off the front rim. Duval the rebound. Mr. Grote has been doing college basketball radio longer than anybody in America. He's been doing things at a high level for his entire life, and it's a joy to visit with Dick Grote, Bill Hillgrove every time we get Pitt on our slate.
And it's great a baseball player as he was. He had always said basketball was his first love.
Yep.
And he would have loved to have traded that and been an NBA player, but he's kept that passion alive well into his 80s.
Yep. Javin Delorier, Marquise Bolden, Gary Trent Jr. with Grayson Allen, and Trayvon Duval has got the rock out in the middle of the floor.
We've seen a lot of Bagley and Carter in this second half.
Bolden missed, 5 to shoot. It was an air ball, so Trent will have to hurry. Duval Nice pass. And the Blue Devils crash the glass and knock it over the end line out of bounds. So 16-point lead for Coach Krzyzewski's squad. About 8 minutes old here in the second half tonight at Cameron.
It's, with the SWAC conference, and they come in and they play a lot of challenging games early. Westward, to this point in the season, as a conference, they're 1-26.
Wow. On the drive and the bucket for Emmanuel Shepard, his second field goal of the ball game. Allen. Whoa, spun out.
It's been one of those games for Grayson Allen. It's been able to get it not really going offensively. He's missed now all 5 of his threes after coming in shooting 66%.
Ali will draw the block. We'll get a timeout on the floor. Grayson Allen draws his third on the Blue Devils. 14-point lead. It was almost 17. Well, they say halfway in, halfway out. In the Coliseum that day, Mike. 12 points and 10 rebounds. Southern lost 70-54 as champions of the SWAC to the Blue Devils, but Coach Cipriano was pretty good. So was Sheldon Williams and J.J. Redick, by the way, who had 29 each that day.
Yeah, it's a little tough to overcome for one guy, but you look at this program in Southern West, it comes down for all the teams in the SWAC to the conference tournament and winning that championship. And this is a team that's done it twice in the last 5 years, in 2013 and 2016. So they are no strangers to the NCAA tournament.
Well, and that's, I think, what Morris Scott was talking about. They won a regular season title, did not get to the tournament, lost in the SWAC championship. They've won the tournament twice, all in the span of really about the last 5 or 6 years. There is plenty to build with here.
The thing you have to do is get your team through, get them psychologically and physically through this really tough non-conference schedule. Get them into conference and hope that experience makes them grow as they get into their own league play.
Well, and you mentioned it's not just Southern, it's everybody in the SWAC.
Everybody's in the same boat, and they go out and they earn a lot of money for their athletic departments, and Carter quickly back in with a nice flush in the two-man game.
Wendell Carter's got 16 now. First points of the second half, fifth field goal of the night. 15-point game.
So if they can develop that rotation where they get Delorier and Bolden coming off the bench behind these two, that's a pretty good 1-2 punch with the 4 and 5.
Sandifer baseline. Out front, 3-ball away, Mayo. Torrey Mayo with 7 now. Duval the other way. Fights through traffic and scores.
Well, we talked about him being a pass-first point guard, but he knows that there are a couple of guys on his team that are struggling offensively, so he has to look for a shot a little bit more, and it's a good gauge of a point guard. Wants to obviously run the team first, but has the ability to score some points.
Lee, and the rebound for Bagley. Nine of them for Bagley now.
Both he and Carter sitting there with 9.
And Richard Lee commits the foul, his third. 7 now on Southern.
Yeah, this is a well-devised out-of-bounds play, and you really, Duval makes it happen. He tees the inbounder, and they just run a little quick-hitting two-man game on that left-hand side. Very tough for the defense on the weak side to react to it.
Alex O'Connell to the line. You see Wendell Carter Jr.
He may be playing himself into a few more minutes here, Wes. He continues to get out on the floor and put up this type of production.
4 for O'Connell now. Had 8 points in their season-opening win a week ago tonight against Elon. And the second one good.
His dad, Dave, was recruited here by Bucky Waters back in the early 70s.
And suffered some injuries of his own, right?
Yeah, he was an incredible athlete, probably could really fly and play above the rim, but a couple of knee injuries grounded him, and it really was never the same player after that. Out of Cincinnati.
16-point game. Mayo launches, knocks it down again. Back-to-back threes for the Deltona, Florida junior, Torrey Mayo, who's now in double figures.
He only averaged about 10 minutes a game, had not scored this season coming in.
You see the threes tonight. Duke only got 4 of them. They've been averaging 10 a game. That looped out. Carter the rebound and stick back.
Wes, you talk about the three-point shooting, though. How many of those were made by Grayson Allen?
Yep.
You know, and so that number as an average of what they score in a game may come down as the season goes along.
Second double-double in 4 games, by the way, Mike, for Wendell Carter.
And he's the type of player who's going to do that quietly. You know, he just doesn't stick out as much as Bagley does, but just goes about his business.
3-ball from Sandifer that was launched over there in the horseshoe at the football stadium. And there's a block called on Mayo at the other end, his third.
And, you know, every time I think that Duke is going to stretch this out to 20 points, somebody steps up and knocks down a 3 for Southern, and that was just a terrific shot. I mean, talk about Mayo stepping in. Sandifer comes into this game averaging 1.7 in the first 3, and I think that you know, for Morris Scott, maybe his rotation's starting to take form a little bit.
Yep. 12-point lead. Foul on Mayo puts Duval at the line. By the way, that's the 8th on the Jaguars with 8.5 to go. Trayvon Duval now, first free throw. He's got 8.
Remember, they got into the double bonus early in the first half, and Duke really didn't take advantage of it. Another missed free throw right there. So for Southern doing a better job of defending without fouling later in the second half.
Jags are 4 their last 5 from the floor. Out front, that's Reese. And Bagley tugs that down. Third double-double now for Marvin Bagley. The third, and Duval can't finish. Eddie Reese on the run. Ali can't handle the bounce pass. Trent with the turnover.
Yeah, a little bit of a risky play. Probably should have held up the dribble out. Didn't have great numbers that time, and there wasn't great spacing on that break.
7 turnovers for Southern tonight, 10 for Duke. Bagley blocked Ali. I give Morris Scott's team a lot of credit, Mike. They've been beat up on the road in their first 3 games, but they have they put a lot into this tonight.
You know, we asked him, and he said, quite frankly, I don't know how the guys are going to react to this environment. And, you know, there was a lot of picture taking and shoot around, and it usually happens with teams that haven't been here a lot.
Ali, O'Connell the rebound of that miss.
But they've shown that, you know, that they're going to come in and put up a fight, and frankly, to this point, you should be very impressed with the effort they put forth.
Bagley a triple. Carter, the layup. 20 for Carter.
32 points and 22 rebounds between the two of them.
Pretty strong work at the office, isn't it? Reese works against O'Connell as we go to the 6.5-minute mark to play. And Sandifer reach in on Trent. So we'll get a timeout. Gary Trent Jr., his first. 4 on the Blue Devils. Second half continues in a moment.
I travel all over the country.
Years, and you know, is this guy right here going to be in that graphic next year?
Yeah.
But you look at those, you know, those players. You think about the year with Kyrie Irving, and really missed most of the year. Came back late from that foot injury, but what that team would have been like, you know, you can't what if yourself. But think of a healthy, you know, him for his whole freshman year.
No question. Boy, Duval lasered one at O'Connell, who couldn't quite handle it, and then he had the presence to get it back, and now they tee up Trent for three. And the rebound for Torrey Mayo.
Nothing wrong with the play that O'Connell made that time, and I think that Grayson Allen getting off the bench now may be coming in for him, but Mike Krzyzewski showing confidence in O'Connell, playing him late in the second half.
Yep. Under 6 to go in a 15-point game. Sam into traffic, altered by Carter. Here comes Duval, 3-on-3. Duke's got 5 rookies on the floor. Bagley and 1. First points of the second half from Marvin Bagley III.
I really love the way those two work when they get into high-low action, and we've seen the reverse where Bagley's made a nice delivery inside. That time, he's the one with the shorter player on him.
Yep. You see Sam come out of the ball game. And Wendell Carter gets a nice round of applause from the folks here at Cameron. As he exits with the double-double, a career high in points. And here is the left-hander Bagley.
And only in 28 minutes, too, West. I mean, put up 28 points, 11 rebounds, 7 of 9 shooting, a couple of blocks in there, very efficient, short period of time.
Well, Quentin Collins has played sparingly tonight, was scoreless in the first half.
And he's a guy they need to come alive. Had an injured knee last year.
Trent the rebound of the Mubashir Ali miss and the lead. Bolden, nice hesitation. He'll be called for the travel. I think Ali influenced that.
And it's just good hustle by him. If he could have easily given up on that play, it looked like Bolden had beaten him down the floor. But he hustled back, got in, and forced him to leave his feet and not have a shot.
18-point lead, under 5 to go tonight in Durham. Mayo tried to find an angle to score it off the glass, could not. Bagley just powers his way to the rim. 17 now for Marvin Bagley III.
Anytime you're a big and you can get a catch in the paint area with both feet in the lane, good things are going to happen.
Mayo draws Duval's foul.
I'm really looking forward to seeing this front line get into ACC play against taller competition.
Yeah.
Florida State pops to mind, who you've had earlier this year, and Leonard Hamilton always trots out about 4 7-footers. Where he finds them, I have no idea.
Well, how about our Toyota tweet of the week? We were mentioning the top 3 picks of success. Bagley, of course, the #1 player for next year. Well, when he left, Steve Nash tweeted to R.J. Barrett, who is the #1 player now since Marvin Bagley reclassified. G-Man.
And but Mike has said as much. It doesn't guarantee a national championship. Since doing the one and dones, they've won in 2015. 2010 was dominated by upperclassmen. 2 of whom are sitting on the bench, and John Fryer and Nolan Smith.
Yep. Allen with 10 to shoot. Duval baseline in traffic foul. And that'll get us to the under 4 timeout. And they will ticket for Quentin Collins. Blue Devils on the way to a 4-0 start.
Listen, we've all got to make choices. If you're hungry and
well, Wendell Carter Jr. has shown us a little bit of everything on the way to his second double-double of the year, and he gets our Z-Max performance play tonight, G-Man.
We talked about it, incredibly efficient and a 7'3" wingspan for him. But the one thing that really is going to strike me, this group really unselfish, and Mike went on and on before, and we were talking about how much he enjoys coaching this group and how much, chemistry they've developed already, which you would think is only going to get better as the year goes along. And I think the biggest thing is just, if you could wish for one thing, it's for all of them to stay relatively healthy.
Yeah.
You're going to get your little nicks and straight, during the course of the season. But they really had to deal with a lot last year.
By the way, Carter's got 6 blocks, too. And Gary Trent Jr. just posted a double-double. Now 10 points, 10 rebounds after he knocked down both free throws. 21-point lead, largest of the night for the Blue Devils as we approach 3.5. And Bagley will be called for the foul there. And that'll be his 4th. 6 on Duke. With 3:38 to play. I want to go back to you're talking about Bagley and Carter, and let's throw Trent in there because he draws comparisons to Justice Winslow from a handful of years ago. And we're talking about Florida State. Miami's a big basketball team, pretty good football team, by the way, too. Dewan Huel in the post, that'll be a factor. Yep. And I'm just starting to think around the league here. You got to see Mahmoud in Louisville last Sunday.
And more, not the physical presence that they've had with Mathiang in the past. Right. And, so I think they lose a little bit. And this could be one of the first times in recent memory where Duke is bigger than North Carolina. Yeah. It has more size along the front line.
Absolutely. So Smith goes to the line. He knocked down a couple. And here is Bagley. Whoa! My scoop doesn't go. I'll just punch it back with 2 hands.
I think he was just trying to pad the stats a little bit right there, get an offensive rebound and a basket, but he beat everybody off the floor after the miss.
Out front, long 3 straight away for Darius Johnson. Sophomore, first time we've seen Johnson off the bench of Coach Scott tonight. Here is Trent. And I said a moment ago he had the double-double. Those were Duval's free throws. And
this is the first time, and we're at 2:46, and now Southern finally gets into the penalty.
And Marvin Bagley III, by the way, has just fouled out of the ball game. 19 points, 11 rebounds. And that to finish. Pretty strong. 7 of 12, G-Man.
Yep. No, I'm going to, really looking forward to watching. I love front court play and see these guys develop.
So Delorier, Bolden, O'Connell, Jack White, the sophomore from Australia, has come on the floor along with Jordan Goldwire.
And we talked about the Bolden, Delorier. It's Delorier complex. It's not like they're old; they're sophomores.
Right.
So you got 2 freshmen who are starting, and you come in with the grizzled old veterans behind them. Yep.
Darius Johnson has made his presence known, and there you see a little bit of the bloodshot from the scratch that Bagley suffered on Tuesday night in Chicago against the Spartans. That was a whale of an early game, by the way. Both those ball games I thought Tuesday night were really good college basketball games for early in the year, Mike.
Yeah, and I don't, we talked about, the recruiting classes. And I think when it first started to be the one and dones and John Calipari, everybody thought that he had discovered the launch codes, but it's really only resulted in 1 national championship. Yep. And I don't know if their upside is Final Four, at this point. It's a real good group of young players, but I don't think they have the potential this group has.
Darius Johnson misfires on the 3. Bolden the rebound, and was it touched O'Connell? Tim Nestor says yes. 13th turnover of the night, and Mike Krzyzewski will have plenty of film work for that.
Yeah, and
you're going to win tonight, but on other nights you.
And I think the thing, giving away 13 points at the free throw line, 4 of 19 shooting from 3. They're not going to do that but now because of their size, they can overcome that and still win games. I mean, I still think win games against better competition.
Jack White forces the turnover. It'll belong to the Blue Devils. And by the way, Wendell Carter's 6 blocks tonight is second best because, well, he's the second person to post freshman record for 6 blocks in a game. The only guy in front of him on the chart is Jaminski. Here is Ali at the other end. Blocked. Delorier. With 100 seconds left, and Javin cashed out, trying to get it in transition. And baseline Sam is fouled by Delorier.
How did you find that?
Well, first of all, I like to talk about blocks, and you got to like this one.
Yeah, Delorier, and he's a terrific athlete. And not only this, he gets the block, stays in bounds, and then he makes a run down the other end of the floor.
Yeah. When you have the kind of success the Duke basketball program has, you chart things like freshman record for blocks in a game. The G-Man had a game of 9, 8, and twice had 7. So it makes Carter's 6 look very good, but not quite good enough.
Pedestrian.
Pedestrian.
I jest.
By the way, it's also the 3rd game this season where 2 freshmen have had double-doubles. Prior to this year, it only happened 3 times in Duke history.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Think about the impact the young people are having here. By the way, the 9 now. Come on now, that was G-Man.
Well, that was the only way, and that was the closest I ever came to a triple-double. As my teammates know, I was never going to do it through assists, nor was I going to do it through steals either.
Oh, foul on Chris Thomas. Hard to believe it wasn't going to come through assist. And Bolden will go to the line.
Averaged 1 a game for my career, and those were all mistakes.
Is that what you tell Bender and those guys?
Yep, the ball slipped through my hand and went to somebody else.
Here's Bolden to shoot a couple. Pretty good company. Wendell Carter and the G-Man. Mr. Jaminski. Into the ball game comes LaQuentin Collins.
Now Sheldon Williams, now the #1 career block leader and rebound leader.
The landlord who had 29 the first time these 2 teams ever played.
Well, you just wonder, I mean, those records will always be there, but you wonder the career records, you know, who's going to stay around long enough to threaten them.
No, you're right. Sam lost the handle on it. Ali. Delorier, and finally White handles the loose ball. Goldwire is a prospect that I think long-term Duke's kind of got to be excited about down the road, Mike. He'll get some minutes this year, but Jordan Goldwire is one of those guys 2-3 years from now could be a very valuable recruit for the Blue Devils.
Well, he's going to get minutes, especially November, December. Right. And, you know, which are like gold, and then there just may not be room, you know, ahead of him. But again, he may be one of those guys that stays 3 or 4 years, and then all of a sudden you've got a very experienced guard on your team.
And that's the unique chemistry project for every basketball coach at the major level now, isn't it?
You know, I think O'Connell may fall into that category as well, too, as he gets in the weight room and gets bigger and just grows.
Shot clock's off. Duke leads by 17. The Blue Devils are going to go to 4-0. They'll have Furman here on Monday night as a lead into the PK 80 event out in Oregon next week. And I'll tell you what, another good sequence of college basketball games to get the Blue Devil season rolling.
Real shout out to Morris Scott and Southern, though.
Yeah.
I mean, they came in here and they gave Duke a test in their building.
Sure did. Southern will be winless in 4 games. Duke is 4-0. Mike Krzyzewski's 1,002nd win as the head coach of the Blue Devils. Very impressive night. Marvin Bagley III finished with 19 points, 11 rebounds. Wendell Carter Jr., 20 points, 11 rebounds. Blue Devils Devils cruise 78-61. The final tonight in Cameron. Mike Cheminsky now back. Final word on a Friday night of AC Hoops right after this.
I fight for those who have been unjustly hurt